Morning freaks, it's Thursday the 29th of June. Sorry about last week, I had to lock the F in. I had a private project video to finish and so deadline was due. Good fun, it just took a long ass time. But if you want to see the video, just let me know and I'll send you the private link. Oh yeah. It's also definitely coming close to winter time now. It is cold as shit in Adelaide, which is not good. I'm still wearing shorts, but that's beside the point. But here's the thing. Today is a very, very extremely, unbelievably exciting day because today might be the first day back to doing mini workouts, but workouts nevertheless. And I never thought that I'd get back to this like a month ago, but things have just drastically improved and I'm so happy about it. Running feels amazing again. It's so fun. But here's the thing. I strongly believe that I really had to learn this lesson the hard way. And that's what this video is going to be about today. So let's just get going. I also have to work today because the grind never stops. Oh, you're coming with me. Some things you just have to learn the hard way. And I feel like I am the kind of person that needed to learn many lessons the hard way so that I never do them again, because the pain and the annoyance and the frustration of making those mistakes and not learning those lessons properly really helps you to never do that shit again. The first lesson that I learned the hard way when I started running was obviously socks, just like everyone. You know, you wear the random shitty crusty old socks that you've had in your drawer for ages because, you know, you're going to go running, so you don't want to wear nice socks or anything like that. You wear shitty old socks, right? And you get into your run and then all of a sudden your feet are like red and blistered and all cooked, and it takes like weeks to actually get better. And that is a really painful thing, and you never make that mistake again because the pain of running with blisters is horrible. Like, have you ever had one of those like blood blisters where like the actual blister itself fills with blood and then it's just like the most disgusting looking thing ever? Yeah, that happens to me, or did happen to me all the time until I started to wear the right socks. Okay, the trick is that you have to find a sock that moves with your foot rather than with the shoe itself. Imagine there's like kind of like three different movable layers. You got the shoe, you got the sock, and you got your skin. Okay, you want these two to kind of like move together as opposed to these two moving together. And you know, it takes a bit of experimenting. There are also socks that have like two layers in them. I don't really like them. I just find that if you get a nice tight sock that actually moves with your foot, really, really good. Also, another lesson to learn the hard way is, you know, not wearing a good running hat that's, you know, relatively cheap at 40 Australian dollars. I don't know what that is in like other currencies, but 40 Australian dollars, you know, getting sweat in your eyes absolutely sucks. Getting sunscreen in your eyes absolutely sucks. Getting sunburn on the top of your head. You can actually get sunburn on your head even if you have hair, unlike me. That can be an issue too. So, you know, this is not just a sales plug, I promise. It's also a lesson that you have to learn the hard way, maybe, that, you know, get a good hat so you don't get sweat in your eyes, and also makes you run faster. And no, that was not an ad. I promise. I want you guys to let me know in the comments below, what are your things that you learned the hard way? Here's my next one. Eating garbage food. There was a time in my life where I weighed like 83 kilos or something like that. Not really ideal for running. And what that resulted in is horrendous shin splints in both legs and hideously sore calves like every single day. And no surprises, once I lost all that weight and now I'm down at like 70-ish kilos, running feels so much easier. And, you know, I don't have horrible shin splints. Here's the thing. If you eat pig slop a lot, that is not conducive to getting fit and getting faster and getting strong. The number one contributor to how fast you can run is how much you weigh to a certain extent. Okay, don't starve yourself, but eating good food makes you feel better and it helps you to run faster and it helps you to be lighter. That's real simple stuff. And that food gives you a bellyache too, and I hate having a bellyache. The next one is probably a little bit cliche, but the reason why it is cliche is because everyone effing does it, and that's comparing yourself to others. Now here's the thing, I've fallen into this trap too, where you are comparing what workouts you're doing to someone else, or you're comparing how much running mileage that you do compared to someone else. And the thing is, everyone is so different. Everyone responds in different ways to different training. And if you want to compare yourself to others, it makes no sense unless you have some identical twin who's living exactly the same life as you and you're comparing like that. But that's just basically really hard to do because you have to be born with a twin, which is pretty rare. Here's the thing, what you need to get to a certain race outcome will be completely different to what someone else needs. Maybe they need to do less than you. Maybe they need to do more. Who gives a shit? Because it's all about you, because that's what running is all about. It's all about you and what you have to do to get there. And you don't know what you have to do to get there until you get there, and then you look backwards and you go, oh, it was that, This pussy workout that I'm going to do tonight for my first one back is going to be a 2-kilometer tempo run, probably at like 4-minute Ks, just, nowhere near any kind of records or anything like that. And then I'm going to do a couple of hill sprints, okay? That is going to help me to move my fitness right now where I'm at. It won't help me in 6 weeks' time. It will probably not help you because you've probably been doing workouts the last year. I haven't. I've been sitting around doing fuck all. Don't compare yourself to others. Only compare yourself to an identical twin if you have one. Now, the next thing that I had to learn the hard way is something that I'm still learning the hard way, and that is that you can't burn the candle at both ends. You can't be working really, really hard and working really hard and continuing to work and also trying to get super unbelievably fit at the same time. It does not work. There's a reason why elite athletes do nothing except running, and that's because they can just focus on the running and they're only burning their candle at this end. They're not burning their candle at this end and that end at the same time. You cannot do that, and you will figure it out the hard way if you continue to grind it out all the time, okay? You have to have seasons in your life where you're focused on your family, different hobbies, going on a holiday, working, a big work project, and then you have other times, for example, where you have to focus on just your running. Like you've been given that privilege where, you don't really have to do anything for the next 6 weeks. I'm going to train really hard, okay? You shouldn't train really hard when you have a newborn baby. That'd be really hard. Now, the next thing that I had to learn the hard way was that everything doesn't have to be off your own back, and you don't have to just like tough things out alone to get some sort of victorious lone wolf medal. I tried pretty much everything to get myself back to where I am right now. Everything, including cross-training, resting, rehab, strength work, more resting for another 6 weeks, 2 rounds of 6 weeks doing absolutely no training at all. Cross-training, getting back into running, nothing was helping. I exhausted everything that I could do myself. And it wasn't until I went and got help from someone else and they suggested getting this relatively minor procedure done, and bang, there you go, problem solved. I didn't even have to really do anything. There's someone out there that can help you with whatever issue you have. Perhaps you have some mental health issues. You should go talk to someone about it and not try and rough it out and figure it out for yourself. Perhaps you have some strength issues when you're running and your legs getting really tired. You have to get a coach or a strength training coach, something like that, to push you to the next level, because sometimes you can't figure it out for yourself. You need to get your ego, put it in the bin, and get some help when you actually need it. That is something that I have learnt the hard way, to get help, because 2 brains is better than 1 brain who's highly emotional about whatever situation they're in. There you go. I'll see you guys another time, probably this week. Bye. Say goodbye to the viewers. Goodbye, viewers.
Like, comment, and subscribe, please.